this is something that you have really maximized. And I don't know if this was just an evolution in your own journey or if this is something that you've always kind of established. I'm a big believer in leveraging joint ventures and, just being able to open up each other's Rolodex in a relational aspect, right? And it could be a very beneficial thing both ways. You have some amazing people you've been able to work with, like Pat from CEO of Intel, Dan Cathy, of course, Chick-fil-A. You've got Cheryl Popeyes and KFC, former CEO. You also have the former CEO of Boeing. You have other individuals, board of DocuSign, Lyft, Costco as well, Maggie, John Maxwell, of course, Tim Tebow. Some of these individuals that are very joint and strategic advisors, but also strategic partners. And I'm curious, because like you just were mentioned, you can basically say, hey, this can really be amazing for certain grocery stores. I guess who you're working with, the owners of Publix, right? And so now all of a sudden that opens up a door to be able to facilitate a massive enterprise contract, et cetera. And right there, just from partnership with Garden City, you guys are able to, increase the top line and margins and so forth, just from that one relationship. So my question really is, you get it. It makes sense to you. Was that an evolution in regards to just the way you think about it? Or has that just been something that's always been strategic as Garden City's thesis?
I was taught it when I was the chief of staff to our chairman and CEO at DocuSign, a gentleman named Keith Kroc. Keith Kroc told me, you align your corporate go-to-market strategy with your financial equity strategy. So you align your corporate go-to-market strategy with your financial equity fundraising strategy. And what he meant by that was, well, Mike, look around. In Silicon Valley, we had a lot of competitors in a DocuSign. Now, fortunately, they're all kind of gone, but there was EchoSign, PandaDoc, HelloSign. There's Right Signature. There's just so many of them, that came through the years. And what he said was, look at who they're all fundraising from. And it was all the blue chip venture capital firms. He said they will not help them win in the market. We have a great product. People have capital. If we have enough quantity, we will get to enough dollars raised. So let's go to all the high net worth individuals that are the big wigs at these companies. And what we'll tell them is, we are DocuSign. We're electronic signature. We're going to be a multi-billion-dollar company someday. We're going to allow you, Mr. CEO of McDonald's, you, Mr. CEO of Equifax, you, CEO of General Motors, you, CEO of SAP, you, CEO of Microsoft, you, CEO of Salesforce.com, keep filling in the blanks, right? To invest. And if you invest, now you're on the cap table, and you want to know what their first phone call is going to be the day after we close? Michael Dell is going to be, how do we get into Dell to sell them millions of dollars per year of DocuSign? Now, he can't force it, but he could open the door. And if he opens the door, we're going to win that deal, right? And so we aligned our go-to-market strategy to our equity finance strategy. So if we had to raise $300 million, we would do everything in our power to raise as much as we can from value-add people. And then whatever was remaining, we would go to then the people that people would start with, the Kleiner Perkins, the Excel. I love you, Kleiner. I love you, Mary Meeker, and Excel, and Bain Capital. You were great. But the other people were value-add. Right? So we filled the rest of what we had to raise with the passive VCs. We started with the active VCs. We started with the active shareholders. What do you think that did when we went to market to the VCs and we told them, yeah, we've already raised 80 million from these people that are going to help us win deals after we close? They would all want us all that much more. So I did the same thing at Garden City, where we don't have any institutional investors. We have no pension funds. I just called all my friends and said, you could help us grow these companies. You're looking for a good return. Let's marry both mission aligned and value add.
Unbelievable in the way you structure that, and then also leveraging their ecosystem, that Rolodex. But like you mentioned, you learned that at DocuSign, and it just catapults you massively into something like the stratosphere in a good sense, which is just, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't see the investing world as well as definitely VC and PE. They just don't do a lot of joint ventures or collaboratives. They're very, what I've noticed, when they have their LPs, they do not share their LPs with anybody else. Even though those LPs may be interested in another thesis outside of their thesis, they just don't. And I just always found that very interesting, I just want to get your take on that because you're saying no as well.
No, you nailed it. You nailed it. And I will say, insecurity. So for me at Garden City, if here is never sharing your investors and here's sharing all your investors with everyone, I'm like over here. Like I overly share. So I host a couple events per year. As you know, we host a shareholder summit. At our shareholder summit, there's a lot of other fund managers. Of our 70 shareholders, probably 50 of them or 40 of them are always looking to raise money for their company or their deals or their funds. And so I'm bringing them in a room with all my other shareholders, and I see what they're doing. They're flying out and meeting each other. They're following up on text messages. They're going hunting together. So what the world says is a scarcity mindset. That's the world. It's a scarcity mindset. Share of wallet, market share. Don't let them know each other are, because you have Christian D. Evans that he put $1 million in yours because he only knew that you existed. Now he knows that 5 others exist. So he's only going to do 200, 200, 200, 200. What I say is great, because he's going to love Garden City all that much more. That there's a family affair, that we chose abundance. Because you know what else is going to come from abundance mindset? Christian will probably also bring 5 other people, and will probably be his best firm, and will probably die for us, and he'll probably refer deals to us, and we'll be the nucleus of that. So that's our reputation. It might be wrong, and you might be a lot of people that call us stupid. But a quick story is 2 weeks ago, I hosted my shareholder summit. One of my lead investors, he runs a private equity fund, and he was hosting his shareholder summit the next week. I had 10 of my shareholders there that I invited, that at late night told me they're going to invest capital. I love that. Love that. But what do you think happened? He invited me to his shareholder summit. I probably met 15 new mission line people that want to invest in mine. So it's a virtuous cycle instead of a vicious cycle. I challenge people, try it out and see it. It takes guts though. It takes guts to actually believe in abundance versus scarcity.
I love it. I'm so glad you kind of put stop on that, because it is just so sad how there is just massive amounts of scarcity mindset. And like you mentioned, just you're on this side of the spectrum in regards to abundance, and just like it just abundantly clear of how much it gives back to you.